Hey everybody, I'm so glad you all came here to the Ashley with Lynn Winery. You may clap if you want to. Thank you. So why am I out here in Waterloo, New York? Because it's what I always do. I'm out here traveling across the state, trying to show people that I care about what's going on and coming to local businesses. The winery is a key piece. For those you don't know, New York State decided at one point, hey, why don't we loosen up some regulations on both wineries and breweries? And what happened in New York State? They exploded. When you gave New York State people the opportunity to grow their own businesses, they do it in droves all the time. It's a lesson for us. The more we try to hammer small business, the more we wind up supporting big business. Because big business can get around all those regulations, right? What we're finding in many of our small towns is some of those small diners and family places are going out, and what's coming in? A franchise. Right? A McDonald's, a Taco Bell, right? Something like that is popping up. You might go, well, is that bad? Sometimes local people own those. Sometimes they do. But franchises are given mostly not to local people. They're given to people who already own franchises because that makes sense. You already got a franchise, the company's happy, they give you a franchise. What if that franchise owner lives in Connecticut? Well, they might buy one here in New York. Is it that bad? No more local ownership. So why can a small franchise survive, but a small store can't survive? Because the franchise is part of a big business, a big, massive corporation that has tons of lawyers, that has tons of accountants, that know exactly how to get around everything. In fact, they're lobbying in DC or they're lobbying in Albany to make special rules to make franchises work well and to make the small business fall. We have to end that. There's many ways we can do that. One of those things we can do is if any local business decides that they want to sell only within New York State, they should be immune from all federal regulatory bodies. They only follow state laws only. You might go, wait a minute, Larry, is that going to make them less safe? Well, I would ask you, have you ever gone to a local place and all of a sudden it was terrible? State law still exists. The only problem with state law and federal law is now I need double the amount of people, double the amount of laws, double everything. Well, guess what? If I'm a franchise, I've already got lawyers, I've already got accountants who cover all that already. They're on my payroll. But when I'm a small business, now I have to have a lawyer who knows both. Now I have to have an accountant who knows both. I've got double, triple expenses to follow rules that are already good enough in a state. So if they're not crossing state lines, let local people do local business. But I'm not done. With that in mind, we should also have it to where if a local business decides that they want to hire people locally, or they want to hire people, particularly who have issues like felons. Well, that's a problem. People don't want to hire felons. Well, felons go back to jail. We pay for that. They can't go back to jail. You want to hire a felon in your local business? You should pay no state payroll tax for that felon for 2 years. No payroll tax. Now you might go, is that a lot of money? What if you're hiring 2 or 3 felons in your small business? That can be a lot of money. That can allow you to hire somebody else. That can allow you to market. That can allow you to give you a shot at moving forward. But Larry, then what will happen is these local businesses will hire a felon for 2 years and then let them go and hire another felon so they can keep getting that tax write-off. Good, you're training my felon population. Please do that. That'd be amazing. Imagine if when the felons come out of jail, they've made a mistake. They don't want to go back into the bad life. They want to have a job. And now they have a place to get their resume up and running, to show they can be back in action again. Well, you can do that. You do that locally, and you will watch people start to hire felons, give them a second chance at life, and we'll stop filling up our prisons and that people come back into our communities. We can grow local communities. It's an important part. And I would ask you, what governor candidate has mentioned how to help out small businesses? What governor candidate has mentioned how to help felons without just saying, give more money? The answer is always just give more money. We've been giving more money for decades, and we still have small businesses closing, and we still have a massive felon population, and we still have a massive prison population. We've been giving more money for decades. What we haven't been doing is giving people a second chance. What we haven't been doing is giving people an opportunity to compete against the big boys. That we have not been doing, but we can do that. Now is the time to make that happen. And that's why I'm so happy to be talking about those issues. Localism matters a lot, a whole lot. Does that make sense, everybody, so far? Okay, you can clap if you want to, please. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Yes, absolutely. So I keep focusing on small businesses because I focus on localism. One of the issues I hear all the time, particularly when I'm upstate, is, oh my God, the city runs everything. Albany runs everything. New York City runs everything. Well, great. If we actually were able to have more money locally, you wouldn't care what Albany did. You wouldn't care what New York City did. You'd only care about what happens locally in your area. And we can do that. That can also be done. I'll give you another idea for that. Imagine if locally you are somebody who owes the state money at the end of the year, whether that's income tax, whether that's a fine or a fee, you owe the state money. For whatever reason, you owe the state. Okay, great. You can take up to $250 of that and give that to a non-government funded nonprofit in New York State. If it's local in your community, you can double that to $500. You might say, Larry, why does that matter? Because usually if you're not wealthy, you're not able to give a lot to charity. You're often not able to. But no matter what your wealth level is, whether you're super wealthy, in the middle, not doing well, whatever it is, you probably owe the state money. We all owe the state money for something. We all pay our taxes. It allows anybody who owes the state money to donate locally, to get local things fixed. And your people can say, you know, we need potholes fixed, or we need a child care facility, or we need a facility to help with our elderly. You can now make that happen locally. And it's the best part. You decide if it works or not. Why? If we say, you know what, we need potholes fixed, so let's allocate funds from taxation to go get the potholes fixed. What happens if we don't fix the potholes well? We give them more money.
And you get more potholes.
And you still get more potholes. The potholes don't get fixed, and you give them more money. Not just that, there's no reason for them to fix the potholes in a way that lasts. Why would they? They want the potholes to pop up again so they keep fixing them. Why would they? But what happens if instead I give my $250, my $500 to someone locally to fix the potholes, and they don't fix the potholes? They're bad at it. What happens? We don't give them money next year. They get punished for their failure. What happens is they fix the potholes this year and they pop up again next year. Oh, you're doing shoddy work. We don't give you money next year. What happens if they're really good and they fix all the potholes? We give them more money to go fix more potholes. Yes, you actually can hold local people accountable to get the job done. And that's a critical aspect we're losing here in the state. But with that plan, we can make that work too. So we can get more things done locally across this state and make more people happy across this state. Again and again, we find all we do is people yelling at each other. You ask Elise Stefanik, who's running as a Republican now, what's your plan to fix New York State? What will she say? Hochul is bad. Democrats are bad. That's what she'll say. And more cops. That's all she'll say. Ask Kathy Hochul, who's a Democrat. She's now the governor. She's running too. How are you going to fix New York State? What will she say? I'll get you more money. I'll get you more money. And by the way, Trump is bad. That's all she's going to say. If the Republicans were going to fix this state, they would have had a plan. If the Democrats were going to fix this state, they would have fixed it. Republicans have no plan. Democrats have no plan. Who has a plan? The guy you're talking to now. But Larry, I don't like all your plans. I like this one, but I don't like that one. I think this one's good, but it's a problem with that. Great. You know what we're talking about? Fixing things. We're talking about plans. That's the issue. We're talking about plans. I'm on that debate stage. I am out there talking. That means we're talking about plans. We're not talking about how bad the other person is. Look, I know I killed someone, but he killed 3 people. So just vote for me because I'm a regular murderer. He's a mass murderer. That's where we are right now. Vote for the regular murderer, not the mass murderer. How about vote for the guy or the gal who's going to try to make your life better? As one person yells Hochul bad or Trump bad or Mamdani bad or whatever they're yelling, I would ask you one important question when they say this. How does that get your rent paid? How does that make a better education system for your family or your friends? How does that make you want to stay here and not pack up and leave as you see so many New Yorkers leaving every single year? And if you don't have an answer for that, why are you supporting them? Why are you supporting people who are just making us fight each other and divide ourselves more instead of people who are going to fix this? Why? It doesn't make any sense. I'm asking you to think about this and to support the independent candidate. But Larry, how can I support you? You're not going to win. I hear that all the time. I want to ask you something. Do you think is going to win? Yeah, you're laughing. I know. Do you think the Republican's going to win? You cannot win with 23%. But that's okay. People hate Hochul, so they're going to vote for her because they hate Hochul. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe they will. But here's our evidence. In New York City, they didn't like the establishment. Did they vote Republican? No, they voted socialist. So when the mainstream Democrats did Thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions or comments from the audience? Any online you want to pick up?
So people are happy that you're out, so that's good.
I like you're happy I'm out. Yep.
We had Chico Monkey Farm gifted 5 Larry Sharpe memberships.
Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Excellent. And guys, I'm glad you brought that up. I brought this up many times before. No governor candidate is going to outwork me. Some of you are saying, but Larry, you have to do X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm out here working. Just this trip, I'm doing 8 stops. I'm somewhere between 700 and 800 on the amount of live events I've done in this state since 2018. I do probably 100 every single year. And I've covered this state, every county, 7 times already. I'm on my 8th right now. No one is going to outwork me. And if you're upset, Larry this, Larry that, then you help outwork me then. You come out, you show up, you get online, you share my stuff, you like and comment, you subscribe, you do all the things required. If you want something to change, you can't just sit here and go, Larry, why aren't you magical? I mean, I kind of am magical, but anyway, why can't you be more magical? Yeah. Why can't you be more magical? You got to help me. You help me, we can make this happen. I said before, I will break a hole in this system, but you all have to follow me through. And if you follow me through, we can make actual change. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I also have a question about the,
oh, I was just ending. We have a question? Okay, sorry.
You got to talk about the lockdowns, Larry.
All right.
People are wondering about what you would do to prevent
Yes. Okay. Yes. Many of you realize I've talked about small business before. In the past, when it comes to small business, we've always struggled for years. But what was the most devastating thing about small business recently? It was the lockdowns. When the bug hit us in 2020 and 2021, New York State locked down almost worse than, I don't think any of the state locked down worse than we did. We were terrible. And those lockdowns crushed small businesses. About a third of them will never come back. Devastated our smaller towns. Some of our main streets are basically abandoned now. Crushed us tremendously. And for what? For what? Was New York any better off? Was New York, did New York do so much better than Florida, or so much better than Texas, or so much better than Connecticut? Did we do so much better? We didn't. All it did was destroy small business. You might go, but Larry, it's an emergency. I get it. But it's also our rights and our freedom and our First Amendment. You might go, Larry, First Amendment, that's freedom of speech. It is. It's also freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom for the press, freedom to petition our government. It's all those things. And a lockdown impedes all 5 of them. Locking people down, stopping them from going to work, stopping them from going to church, stopping them from being with their families, stopping them from congregating as they see fit is utterly anti-American. It's against the First Amendment. But Larry, maybe somebody might die. I understand that. I do. And I'll give you a personal example. During the pandemic, I had 2 people in my life who were over 80 and had pre-existing conditions. I was worried for them. I was scared. I thought, oh my God, if they get COVID, this could be the end of them, right? Sadly, since then they have passed, not because of COVID, for other reasons. But I was concerned about them because they had pre-existing conditions. But both of them are churchgoers. My family is Eastern Orthodox Christian, and they both wanted to go to church. And I asked them, I said, please don't go. I'm afraid for you. I'm worried if you go, you're gonna catch something, it's gonna be a problem. Now, I thought that because I was afraid. But if they had told me, no, Larry, I want to go. My faith matters to me. What matters to me is the community I have in my church, and I don't care if I get sick, I want to go. I would have respected them, and I would have taken them to church. I would have done it. Yes, I would have. Because you own your life. If you choose to stay home, you may. If you choose to go out and your faith is more important to you, you get to. That's our First Amendment. That's how it works. You get to choose. Now, just because I was afraid, does that mean I get to now tell you, well, you can't go out because I'm afraid? You can't go out because I'm afraid? No, stay in your home because I'm afraid. No. If I'm afraid, I can act. If I'm afraid, I can try to convince my family because I'm afraid about the people I care about. I don't get to impose my will upon you. That's what I don't get to do. I don't get to impose my will against you, but we'll do it. So here's what we have to do to fix this. We have to propose an amendment to the New York State Constitution based off of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution to say that lockdowns are against the law and unconstitutional no matter what. And it must be an amendment to the Constitution. Must be. Yes, you can clap for that if you like. Absolutely, yes. And the reason why I must do that is several-fold. Number one, if it's just the law, the governor will say, oh, emergency, and get rid of the law. And that will happen. Emergency, stay in your house. Emergency, let your business collapse. Emergency, let your families die. Emergency, let your elderly parent die in a nursing home while you stay home and never see them again. I'm not okay with that. They'll do it. So no, must be that. That's the only way. But it's a second part to this. Once you have that amendment, that now allows anyone who is being bullied by their local government to not do, to stop, to be shut down, to whatever the case may be, to now sue the state to reopen, to get back out, to defend their own rights. I always say this, the state, its number one goal should be to defend the population against local bullies. And there are always local bullies. But sadly now, the state winds up being the local bully. They should be defending you against it. This amendment helps people to have the state defend them against local bullies. Thank you for that question. I hope that answers that question.
Yep.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it again. I'll see you all soon. I'm back out again on the road. Thanks.